Grid Master is pretty much over for me. I had more fun than what the game actually proposed at the beginning, which is always nice. If you look at my inventory, I made a Void Waker and pulled a lot of like two verdicts, but like I went to Fasani. I pulled an orb and two nightmare staves. Pulled some inkwee. I got the helmet and the skirt here. So yeah, I had my fun beyond what the grid was. I, I knew it was going to be a short event, so I'm not disappointed in any way. There's actually a lot more here than I thought there would be. I didn't have a full look at the grid right before I started. I kind of just jumped into it and winged it, so it took me way longer because I didn't do the meta as I probably should have, but that's okay. I learned a lot. Never killed the awakened bosses before. That's going to be almost impossible in the main game. So that's great. Never killed Soul before, so I did get a quiver, and I didn't really learn anything from this. Unfortunately, I've done quite a bit of Coliseum. It's just hard for me to do it and complete it in the main game. So, but that was fun. And then, you know, overall, it pushed it did everything. It pushed people to their limits, like me that have played most of the game but haven't done the really hard stuff. It pushed people up to the point where they didn't want to play it anymore, and then they stopped and they didn't do stuff like the 30-minute Inferno, which mine was 30 minutes and 55 seconds, by the way. Okay, I'm not sitting here trying to flex. You do PB Zuck. It wasn't that fast, okay? So again, it pushed people that were good at the game like to their limits to where they barely did stuff or they did do stuff or obviously some people crushed it, and I've seen boards get completed in like 8 hours and 8 minutes or something. I don't know if that's the world record. It's probably even lower than that now. I might try a randomizer and stream it. I am streaming now on twitch.tv/crown convict. And then it also it also gave us a little bit of what we want every year, and that's the fast XP, the fast progression, and all that. It was really fast. I would have liked to see them do a board every week, like a different board every week. That probably would have kept everybody in it. It would have been cooler, but they didn't do it. That's fine. It's whatever. I also want to see them do like a board for like each god. So like Sarah, Zami, and then Guthix, and then you have a month to complete that. You have to do different things around like the gods. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, now we're gonna go to the store. I'll add all that stuff to my house, and then we'll take a look at the statistics of the grid. What portions of the grid were completed more than others, and what are my thoughts about it? Because I'm actually a little bit more surprised at the amount of completions there have been. I don't know if that's a lot of us are playing multiple accounts or what, but it was a good amount of people that completed most of the board. Yeah, let's go take a look at the house stuff. Okay, so before we look at this reward shop, I just want to say I didn't play Gridmaster for the rewards. I'm pretty sure these are all mid tier, but let's have a look at what they have. Looking to buy. Yep, yep. I'm just gonna space bar through this. Yes, please. Okay, so you can put all this stuff in your house. So I'm gonna buy one of everything. It looks like you just confirm. I have 20,000 points, so I should have enough to buy everything. Okay, so we've got the scrolls and we have the chest piece with the back for each of these. Yeah, I mean, these don't look that. The black is probably the best one, bro. The black and white. That's fire. That's probably the best one. Especially with the sleeves, the baggy sleeves. I like that one the best. I don't know why they didn't give us a whole outfit, but it is what it is. This one is definitely feminine. Yep. And this one goes with the Serp helm low key a little bit, doesn't it? Wow. Okay. With the Tanzanite Fang. Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's go see what these scrolls do. This one's for the Master Altar. And this one is for the torch. I wonder if I need two for the torch. Probably not, right? let's go take a look. We probably need a hammer and a saw, don't we? I'll be right back. Oh, all right. We're gonna put all this stuff in the costume room first. Not that one. Doesn't look like that one either. Nope. Oh, they do go in here. I don't know where they go in here, but they're in there now. Good. Let's see if we can find them. There they are. Boom. All right. So, Gridmaster stuff in the house. That's good. Doesn't take up my bank space. I appreciate that. Now, let's do... Do I gotta go in build mode for this? Oh, here's the symbol. Let's build the icon. See what this looks like. Oh, yeah. I like that a lot. That's actually sweet, man. That's actually really cool. Now, I know my house isn't set up for efficiency with prayer, but that's only because I've already gotten it. Okay. It's not colored smoke or anything like the screen, like the login screen, you know? It doesn't do little rune symbols coming up. It would have been nice if they did that. But it's kind of see-through smoke too. Kind of underwhelming with the smoke. However, I do like the aesthetic. Now we need something to change the altar because definitely sticks out. Everything looks kind of tarnished and old, and then you got this golden altar in the middle. Yeah, I like these though. This is cool. So there it is. There's the rewards. Now let's go over the statistics of the grid and the event, and then that'll wrap up the video. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but when you go to the Gridmaster page on the wiki and you scroll down, boom, statistics of what was completed for the event. The blue means it was a really high percentage of people that did it. The green is just under 50%, or I think like over probably like, I don't know, over 10. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's go back up. Here's the board. First one, defeat Doom. This is a spicy one. I'm going to probably try to skip the easy ones because obviously a lot of people did those. But the ones that were like I consider difficult, the end game bosses, that's the ones we're going to talk about. Okay. Doom, I haven't cleared Waybait in the main game because honestly, when that boss came out, I had school starting in like a couple days, and I wasn't about to throw my life away for something that took so much effort. When I was about to have to put in a lot of effort, so doing this, I mean, you flew through it in this. Like you could pretty much just phase out Doom before he could even finish a special attack. So the fact that 22% of people finished this, not surprised. It's also a new boss, so I think a lot of people watch a lot of content on it. Everybody's brain is pretty fresh on it. So I'm not really surprised that 22 people completed it. 21 people completed the Coliseum. I am surprised less people did this. The Coliseum can stack you out quite a bit. In this grid, it was a little frustrating. Getting put down to 1 HP. Now I didn't die in the Coliseum on either of my runs, but getting pushed down to 1 HP, it was like, dude, why is this happening to me? Okay, even though I was standing out in the middle of it. So 21 people didn't complete Coliseum. Little shocked, but you know, it's kind of crazy to me that more people killed Doom. I feel like, I guess Doom is easier in the grand scheme of things, isn't it? Yeah. Fully decorate the fletching. That was just getting 80 fletching. That one wasn't bad. Kill an ogre. I wish they were a little bit more clear where to do this because this was actually in the Corsair Cove, if I'm not mistaken, and everybody was going like west of Now basically this is kill Jalzak or Jalzek in the Inferno. It's basically just kill a major in the Inferno. That gave you I think it was like minimum. No, I don't think. Maybe not minimum. Maybe it was minimum hits of 5. So it was gave you like the minimalist perk. 37% did that. Again, the last three, not shocked that that many people completed it. Only 26 people did Yama. That I'm very surprised about. Uh, Being that you could just pretty much phase out Yama with a um, shadow. Honestly, I feel like people knew they weren't going to complete the board, so they just didn't do Yama. If you look at the percentages here, uh, Doom versus Soul, they're very close. Yama's a few percent higher. It's almost like if they knew they weren't going to do the other ones, they weren't going to do Yama. But everybody, I mean, I think when you play these events, you should really play these events as practice, as something that, oh, I can't do this in the main game, then I need to do it in the grid, in the temporary game mode, in the league, or whatever it is. So you learn if you care about getting better at the game, that is. And then you look at Yama's 26, and then it's almost like people were scared to do the quarter toss because they were raids. 24% for Chambers. Chambers was probably the easiest content to do, out of all the raids. Maybe not. Todd was ridiculously easy. You didn't have to do any of the mechanics, but I mean, not doing Chambers, even in easy mode and just getting something. I'm surprised people didn't do that. 25.8% only hit 2K total. So less people hit 2K total than did Yama. Again, these are end tiles. These are the hard tiles. So it's a little shocking to me that people didn't even skill. But why would you skill in a temporary game mode that you knew you weren't going to complete? So it does make sense when you think about it. But it's like, it gave you all the combat achievements, Then you have longer thralls and you could go try all the other harder stuff. It's just me. Moon's Apparel, 42% people did that. So, I mean, no shocker there. And then Huey Codal, 42.5%. So it's like you could tell when you're looking at this, people, if they knew they could do moons, they were doing Huey, right? Or they knew how far they were getting in the grid, and then they stopped because all the end game content's around like 26 to 20% completed until we get to like two or three other ones. Reach skill total 500. Pretty much everybody did that. 69%. Cook a shark. Well, the chef's app that gave you unlimited food, so obviously the majority of the players are going to do that. Defeat Zora. Only 41% of players did that. It looks like if you're doing moons and you're doing Huey, you're killing Zora. So that's cool. This is to see from the player base and where they're at on like skill level. The Inferno, 30-minute Inferno, I thought more people would get this done. Only 13% of the people did this. So it looks like only about 10% of the people actually completed the grid because of a stat we'll see later on about the Awakened bosses. You obtain some valuables. Almost 70% of people did that. They give you Golden God. Attain a unique for the bearer's chest while wearing an item. You had to get 70 defense for this. Only 55% of the people did that. A lot of people took their time to make pures and stuff, so that might be a reason why some of this other stuff isn't completed. But this one, not wearing bearer's items, would definitely be a reason that it's not around 70% because people ran pure accounts and didn't complete the grid and only did certain tasks, right? So definitely understandable there. Almost 70 people drank this Steam Forge brew. It looks like about 30% of players barely really touched the game. They just messed around with it, logged out, and probably went back to the main game on this. Because some of these really should be 100% completed if you touched grid and actually like followed through with a decent amount of it. Chop maple logs, it was 45 woodcut and 70% of people did that. Defeat Scurious, 63% of people did that. So, again, these are the easy tiles. Defeat a Lizardman Shaman, only 55% of people did that. I wonder if that's because they didn't want to get the gear. I don't know. That was the first time I died, was trying to kill Lizardman Shaman in this, but it didn't stop me from going back and doing it again. That was annoying. I didn't have unlimited food when I was doing that task, so yeah, it was just like day one. Everybody was running around. I probably have footage of that somewhere. Corrupted Gauntlet, 42% of players did that. I really think that's actually a higher number than I thought it would be. But it looks like if you're killing Zora, and like the people who killed Zora, killed Moons, did Huey, they were worried about the medium tiles. It looks about like 40% of the players completed the medium tiles. Not bad, honestly. I would like to see that around 50. I mean, I feel like not a lot of people played this, but we're better than what this is showing here with these stats. Gain over 30, alchemy coins, 70% of people did that for the production prodigy. Steal from a fruit stall, easy. Throw no ball, easy. Look at that. Gridmaster tutorial. So, or I'm sorry, yeah, Gridmaster tutorial, 83.5% people did that. So, there was roughly like 16, 17% of people that logged in didn't even go through the tutorial. So, like, some of these stats, like, these percentages are actually a lot lower because some people didn't even get past the tutorial. Which is kind of like, you could put like a 17% debuff on all these other percentages, and that brings them down even more, right? Equip the Stronghold security boots. 73% of people did that. So, yeah, it's like 10% of the people that completed the tutorial didn't even get fancy boots when you're looking at this. Vampire Slayer. Almost 70% of people did that. Grimy. It looks like some of this content just didn't hit for people, and they just didn't care about completing the grid. But the one I really want to focus on, look, 44%. Not even half the players defeated Jad. That's weird to me. 70% of them went to the gem crab, though. That's funny. That's actually hilarious. And then you look at Vorkath, only 39% of people, 39.6% of people killed Vorkath. But you look at the Awakened bosses, 10.4%. So only 10% of players that got out of the tutorial, which was 83% of players, even killed the Awakened boss. Or all four of the Awakened bosses, I should say. So some people might have killed Awakened bosses, but they didn't kill all four. I put a video up of Whisperer for my buddy who was struggling with it so he could see how I did it. Of course, I died during it because these fights are actually hard. I've never done them in the main game. So this was the hardest part of the grid for me, was the Awakened bosses. The Inferno took me 2 tries. I gave up on the first one. I didn't know it completed in less than 31 minutes. I thought I had to get in under 30. Might have been able to do it the first time. Don't think I would have. Doesn't matter. Got it done anyway. Less than 40% of people got a unique from God War's dungeon in this. So you look at the rows completed. This is where it gets it's kind of shocking to me in some areas, right? So obviously the Awakened bosses were tied to the Gloves of the Damned right here. 9.5% of people got that. That's just under the 10.4% that actually completed the Awakened bosses. So a lot of the people that went for that row completed it. That's what that tells me. A lot of people that went for that row completed it. If you cleared the Awakened bosses, you were getting the gloves because I think all you had to do was get 92 agility. And I think the only reason you wouldn't complete that top was because you didn't want to get 92 agility. And those might be the people that didn't get 2K total. The Inferno was tied to this one, 12.7. So again, it looks like if you got the less than 30-minute Inferno, you were getting the necklace. Not shocked by those stats, but it's pretty cool looking at this. This is the only time we see a sub 10% on the grid. Sub 10% for one item on the whole thing, and it was only by a 0.5, and we still have 2 weeks left. So overall, I think this really was a success for Jagex, even though it was just like a test. You look at this column, you had to defeat Yama and get 92 Slayer for a Raxor. The crafting didn't really matter because you could just buy that from a store. What did that give you? Oh, no, that got you this. That was 22% people killed Yama and got 92 Slayer. Okay. Now this one, the shield, the 1,000 Dragon Ward, you had to defeat both raids basically, and the Inferno in less than 30 minutes. Look how many people got that. Hold on, I gotta scroll back up. 10.9. So everybody that not everybody, it was like a couple percent difference that completed 30-minute Inferno got this shield. So the items you really want to pay attention to that were hard to get, going to be the Damned and this necklace. A lot of people that did the 30-minute Inferno didn't get this either, because 13 point something percent that did the Inferno got this necklace, and that was tied to just getting 2K total. And only when you look at the 2K total, 25% of people did that. Wow. So not even half. Hmm. Just really fun stuff to look at. Overall, I think it was a good decision for Jagex to release this. Gave us a little bit of taste of a league like event, um, and it was fun. Honestly, even though I didn't pick the right meta, and I did struggle for a little bit for like a day because I messed something up. It was still meta, and well, I'm sorry, it wasn't meta. It was still fun. It was a good time, and that's about all I have for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and sub, and then add me on Twitch. I just started streaming on there. I'll put the Twitch link in the description. Y'all be easy.